Hey guys, Tapdawg here with Little Alchemist Helper, and today I forgot to record my audio, so you're hearing me have to redub everything, and I apologize. But I wanted to jump into the game and show you guys how my deck is coming along for the Beginner's Guide series. Wanted to talk about what to do in between events as well as how the science event is going for me. So first I want to talk about the cards that are in my deck. I've got 4 gold Final Form cards here. 2 of them, Bear Magus and Great Wall, are both going to stay in the deck long term, but the other 2, Geomancer and Little Android, are not. And that's because they are 3 orb cards. So I wanted to show you guys how you can actually see that. So if you go to the upgrade card section, I'm sorting by rare to make it easier. You can go look at these cards. So let's look at Bear Magus first, or Magus, whatever you want to say. If you scroll all the way to the right, it's going to show you the card name, Critical Strike, and it says it doubles your card's attack. And so you'll notice it has 23 attack there. That actually will double to 46. Now, in order to fuse a card, you need to actually have 2 copies of it. So I need 2 Bear Maguses in order to make this. You have to get them both to level 5, and that'll let you fuse them so that you can double the attack that's shown there. So that's in comparison to the other cards. And again, I don't know what I said down below, so I'm sorry. I'm having to record this on the fly. But if you compare that to Geomancer, Geomancer is a 3 orb, and it does the cheaper version of Critical Strike, which is Amplify. You'll notice that it's, instead of saying it doubles, it only increases your card's attack by half. So the cheaper ones, the ones that only cost 3 orbs, only do half as much when they do their ability. So for this one, instead of being 17, it'd add 8, so it means it would do 25 attack. So not really as good. We don't recommend you keep these long term. I'm using them in my deck because I needed just a couple extra high defense cards to help me with my strategy. But this one will be dusted eventually, probably pretty soon actually, just because it's not needed. But let me show you the other 2 cards just so you can get another idea. Next is the Great Wall. This is a 5 orb, so if you go all the way over, this is a protection. Again, it'll tell you it doubles your card's defense instead of only doing half as much. So that means instead of being 30, it would double to 60. These are good as a combat against the Critical Strike cards, which will double their attack. So if a Bear Magus was fought against it, it wouldn't do any damage to you. Now I'm going to leave this one at level 1, which is 18 defense, because I really don't need it. It's just helping me with the defense side. Little Android, which is a card you get for free on Android, is a Reflect, so it's the cheaper version of Counterattack. You'll notice it does only half the damage that you receive reflect back. Counterattack would do all the damage you received. So if you had 30 attack against you, and this is a 22 damage opponent, that means you would have had 8 damage hit you, 4 of it would be reflected back. If it was a counterattack, all 8 damage would have been reflected back. Again, so the goal is you pretty much don't want to keep any of these ones that only do half, and you want to keep the ones that actually double or do the full amount. So that's kind of the first start of my deck here. And so like I was just saying here, is long term I'll be getting rid of those. But let me sort this by alphabetical to show you all the cards in my deck. I'm working on Bear combos right now, so any card that combos with Bear, I'm getting to level 4. I'm also going to redo all of the cards that are in this deck. So Bat doesn't combo with Bear, so that's why it's still level 3. Whereas something like Chinchilla is able to combo with Bear at level 4, so that's why I leveled that one up. Bats, there's also a couple other cards that are level 3 that I'll probably be getting rid of. My deck size currently is 43. I want to get that down closer to 35, so I'll be removing some of these cards. Earth does combo with Bear, so that's why it's up there. Golem does not, so that's why it's still level 3. I'll probably be removing those pretty soon as well. Then you've got Human, which does combo with Bear, so that's why it's a level 4 there. The other 2 are still level 2. Those will be leveled up when I have Dust. Knight is also level 4 because that combos with Bear. And then you've got Magic as level 4, and I'm trying to get those leveled up as well. Metal is another one that is level 4 that will be leveled up too. Poison doesn't, Snake doesn't, so both of those are still level 3. Superhero does. That's why it's level 4. I was just mentioning here that the poisons and snakes will probably be removed pretty soon because they aren't that great in my deck anymore. They were great at the start, the first week or two, but they're the ones that I always am bummed to have when I have them in my hand. Superhero, I've got 3 copies of that, so the first one's level 4, the other ones will be leveled up soon. Sword, I just leveled up, that was the last thing I leveled up, and Tree as well. Undead is also level 4 because it researches combos with it. Wizard is only level 3 because it was level 2 is what you needed to research it with Bear, but I will be leveling that up to number 4 soon. That's the next card I will be leveling up. And I don't know what I said here. Oh, but yeah. Anywho, let's look at the, I was going to say let's go into the event, but actually I wanted to talk about what happens between the events. So when you unlock the portals, obviously you want to play the portals as much as possible, but then the next thing you want to do is unlock as much of the map as possible so you can get as many of your goblins as you can. The more goblins, the more dust you're going to have long term. When you can't beat the portal, I said go in here and fight Dr. Robo. You can go back and try playing the portal again to see if the extra dust that you've got in the leveled up cards is going to help you beat him. But if you can't beat the boss you're on, go back to Dr. Robo. And then in between events, I recommend unlocking as many of these islands as you can. I'm on the 3rd island here, and I'm having a little bit of difficulty with Ariel there, so that's as far as I've been able to get, but I still have those extra 5 to go. I would like to unlock them, and I'll probably be able to unlock them after this event's done because my cards have gotten a lot stronger since when I started this event. But ideally, you want to unlock all of these. You just have to play the boss 1 time each. They do get a little bit harder as they continue on, especially on this second map. But the more spots you have unlocked, the more goblins you're able to beat, the more free dust and gems you get. So that's basically what I was saying in this spot. Again, I'm sorry I forgot to... my audio microphone was muted. So now let's go to the normal events. I'm currently on tier 16, and I've heard from several people that tier 17 is where this actually gets the hardest, and there's a lot of people struggling with that. My personal strategy is I'm using Elementalist and then doing high defensive combos and letting the elemental damage do most of the damage for me. Now that does get tricky when you have to battle the Elementalist, which actually this first battle is, and you'll see it gets pretty close, but yeah, anywho. Ideally, I'll be able to get to tier 20, and I'll probably stop at that point just because I can only play this twice a day, in the morning before I go to work, and then at night when I'm home from work. Sometimes I can get a second set in at night if I get home early enough. But here's our first battle against Albert here, and because I've got Bear in my hand, I keep this hand because that's the best card I've got, and I'll be able to do a diamond combo here, as you can see. Now, I could do that one as well, but that's a defense-focused one, but because this attack is so high, I was fine with this. So, got to do 7 damage plus the 1 extra damage there, so that was 8. This is another great combo to get at the start. I did take a little bit of damage from Albert, but not as much as if I had played a high attacking card. Now, I'm at a spot here where the highest defense of my 3 cards on the right is 11. But let's look at this combo to see what it is. It has 11, so since that's also the same defense as all of those cards, but it has more attack, I play that one. I also get to fill my combo meter 1 extra. So then I look again, and this has 13, so I'm going to play this because it has my highest defense available to me. And I got scared there, I thought I was going to lose, but I ended up eking this out as a victory. Had it taken 1 more turn, I would have lost. So that was a very exciting battle for me, but I've squeaked it out. Also, I'm drinking soda, so if you heard me open my can, you're welcome. So then I do my second battle here against Albert. It's a whole lot easier when he's on Enchanter. Again, my focus is high defense. None of these cards here are going to give me high defense right now, so I decided to redraw. This hand is slightly better. I do have at least 1 high defense combo that I can do. Both of those give the same amount of defense, so I looked at this one, and this one only combos with poison, but it's got a really low defense. So I opted to go back and forth, but I decided on Witch Doctor, which it didn't really matter anyway because he played a great wall. So then I look at both of these and I'm like, for 1 defense less and higher attack, I'm going to play this one. It's a little bit risky, but it ended up working out in my favor. And then I get to play a high defense card again here, and this is when he does a high attacking card, so that was a good part on my spot. Again, I'm looking for highest defense, so even though those do combo together, it has a lower defense, so I'm playing this one. So now I could play human and poison, which is what it offers me, but that's only got 6 defense, and I'd just be too scared to play that. If they played a death ray against me, I would lose. So instead, I go for this slower play with the higher defense here. Turns out I would have been okay in that situation, but you never know, so it's better just to play it safe. Again, I'm going for highest defense, so I play that combo. That was higher than the gold final form cards there. They only had 11 as their highest defense. And then I look here, and these ones all have low defense, so this is when I play the gold final form instead. And again, I just have one more turn here, so I'm going to play my highest defense combo I can make. And that stall ends up getting me the win. So that's what I recommend you do if you're having a hard time with Albert, because he plays a lot of high attacking cards. And that is the completion of Tier 16. Now, Tier 17, like I said, is where it gets a little bit harder. Unfortunately, I don't have enough energy to show you that here. But again, that strategy is going to be the best one to get you the furthest in the battles. I do have a little bit of gold here, so I'm going to buy a couple packs. At this point, I'm just dusting all the cards I get. I do recommend long-term, you want to save 3 copies of each of your combo cards, but for now you can get away with recycling these if they're not being used in your deck. The reason you want 3 copies, or actually 6 copies I should say, is so you can have 3 fused copies of each of them for heroics. But when you're starting out in the game, you're desperate for dust, you can get rid of them, unless they're cards that are in your deck. Obviously you want to have as many of those as you can. I've currently got 25 dust. I need about 48 to level up that wizard I talked about earlier. So it'll probably take a little bit longer, maybe another day to get that. But here's my current research. I'm working on Werewolf because it has the best combos with my deck. It makes 8 of its 10 gold combo cards are diamond. The other 2 are high attacking gold. So it's a great card to add to your deck long term. It doesn't combo very well with the other bronze cards, and it's just okay with the silver cards, but with the gold cards it's very strong. So that's why I'm starting to do research on it, even though it's not in my deck. And I'm just using 1 space of the 3 research spaces for this purpose. So that's kind of what this is. And apparently I talked for longer, so I'm sorry. I'm sure I said something really nice and smart here, but I don't know. Probably wasn't smart at all. But I just found that it's better to use 1 space to continue researching for cards that you want to add to your deck, and then the other 2 spaces I am using for the cards that I am currently researching that are in my deck, which in this case it's Bear is my focus on those ones. So those 2 are both 48-hour researches that are being worked on. Bear Chinchilla, which makes Emok, so that'll be finished tomorrow. Technically, yeah, tomorrow. And then this one I just started, which is Bear and Sword. And so that one will be finished in 2 days from now. And I don't know what I'm saying here again, I'm sorry. I probably said something smart, but I can't remember. And then after this, I talked about those last 2 research slots that are on the right-hand side. Those 2 you unlock with gems for 40 gems each. A lot of times people have asked me, should I unlock those if I'm free to play? And I say no. The only reason you should unlock those is if you're pay to play and you are actively purchasing packs a couple times a month, because then you'll actually get a backlog of research to do. When you're free to play, obviously you have a lot of research to do at the beginning because you're just starting out the game, but give it a couple months and these will just sit empty. And I'd hate for you to spend 40 gems or 80 gems on these unlockable research slots and then you're not using them to their full potential. you're just letting them sit there. So if you're free to play 100%, there's no reason to unlock these extra research slots. It's not going to help you in any way. If, however, you are pay to play, you're buying packs, one or two of the premium packs, the full packs, or multiples to get a gold combo card every month, then it's worth it to spend the 80 gems to unlock this, so that way you don't have a backlog on research. Then I jumped into the arena. I talked about this a little bit. I keep hopping between gold 3 and diamond. I'll win a couple battles, lose a couple battles, but I basically am around 30 stars to 75, 100 stars, somewhere in there. Really just depends. So I played a couple battles here. Again, I talked about my strategy. I look for someone that has 30 as their health, and then the combos I make, I try to make as high defense. So that was a good first starting combo. You know right away from the very first hand if you're going to be able to beat someone. He played a bronze combo, so I'm going to be able to beat him fairly quickly. Had he played a diamond combo at the start, I would have been a little bit scared and thought, oh no, that was my best card and he's already played that, I'm done. But this one was fairly easy to do. So then again, I'm playing high defense cards here because I'm trying to deal damage to him every turn to get his health down. And yeah, that's the fun there. So I'll show you one more battle here. Again, when you choose the battle, I'm going to actually go against this guy because that guy's healer, even though he's got 30 health, this guy would be a slightly easier battle for me to get his health down. I think I end up losing this battle though, so it's a shame because he's just got some slightly better cards than me. But I do start off a little bit strong with that combo, but you can see he's able to hit me down, so I'm 2 health below him now. Again, I go for my strategy of high defense, so opt for the high defense combo, do that, and this turn we both do 2 damage to each other. Again, highest defense. Now he does an extra 2 damage to me this turn, so now I'm down by 4. Again, I do my high defense. I've got those snakes there that are just horrible in my hand and clogging it up. Thankfully, I get this Badger combo here, but that doesn't really help me because he plays a high defense combo himself. And then I realize I'm going to lose, so might as well play this card. And he ends up doing a Claymore of Doom and killing me. So it is what it is. That happens a lot at these levels. Just part of the learning experience. You keep going up and down. It's a yo-yo, is what I said there. But and then I went into the Armory and I talked about the Dark Orb points. I've got 380. That's probably about the amount you need for Tiebreaker. You might need a little bit more for Tiebreaker. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I said that as well in the video. But you want to be able to save at least that much for Tiebreaker. In this Armory, there's a bunch of things that will pop up. Tiebreaker is the one you want to buy first because it makes you be able to stay in Masters. You have to get to Masters to buy it, but once you get there, use Tiebreaker, you'll be able to stay in Masters. You don't have a problem. The other really good one you want to buy right away is Greed. So for me personally, I'm saving up my Dark Orbs so I can have enough for at least Greed 1 and Tiebreaker. After that, I might start investing in the PvP health upgrades here because you can get those at a lower level. And that will help you slowly increase your rank because you'll be able to outlive someone who had the lower health than you. But all the other abilities like Lobotomizer here or the other ones that you see, they aren't your top priority. Tiebreaker is your top one, and then Greed. Greed is going to get you more cash more often, which means you get more dust, so you can level up your cards faster. And then Tiebreaker just makes it easier to stay in Masters. And so you'll get higher ranks, which means you get more Dark Orbs, you get more gold, you get more arena rewards. Never buy these cards on the end. They're not worth the cost. I said that you might be able to buy them if they were to lower the cost of these sometime, but even then, I personally don't. I've got almost 12,000 Dark Orbs on my main account right now. I am not buying those. I'd rather just save them for something in the future. On my Underdog account, I am 1 health away from maxing out. It takes a very long time, years, to be able to max out your health in the arena. And so I'm about 2 weeks away from being able to finally max out that. And then I'll go back by the remaining abilities. And then at that point, I'll start saving again like I have on Tapdawg. But it takes a long time to fully max yourself out on here, and by the time you do, you probably won't even need those boosters anyway. But don't throw away your Dark Orbs by buying those boosters. Instead, buy Tiebreaker, buy Greed, buy Health. In that order. I don't know what else they said here, but that was the gist of that conversation. And I think I went back. Is there anything else that needed to be said? I'm going to finish this event at least up to tier 20, so I can get the science card. I probably won't get much further just because I can't play this that often, just a couple times a day. Outside of that, I do want to create a new best deck because the one I made for the pre-portal deck was not that great. So if you're using that one, please feel free to get rid of cards that aren't working for you. Replace them with metal because that wasn't in that pack, and that's a really great card. I'll be getting rid of bats here, like I said. I'll be getting rid of the poison and the snake because they're not working that well in this deck, just so I can get down to 35 cards. But I believe that is pretty much it. So I do apologize that my words on the bottom do not match the words that you're seeing. And hopefully we will not have this issue in the future. But that's it. Take care.